Hello, fans of the modular shed. It's a bit noisy today because the neighbour's having his hedge trimmed, but there's the modular shed and it's not far off completion. Let's enter the shed, and the first thing that you'll notice, although it is quite subtle, is that the floorboards are screwed down. Yes, all the floorboards in all three modules. So this one, module 2, and indeed module 3, all the floorboards are screwed down. Now the reason I've finally come around to doing that job is because they're insulated. Now let's see if we can see this. There, under the floor, is the fiberglass insulation, which I've put in all three modules. So I'll run a bit of time lapse now, which was shot from high up, showing me fitting under battens to the main joists, laying in the insulation, and then putting the floorboards on top. This fiberglass insulation is cut. I don't know whether you can see this, but there are two narrow strips in the middle and two wide strips on the outside for sort of standard joist sizes, I think. We'll come into module 3 and you can see that I have two narrow strips on the outside in this case and two wide strips on the inside. So yeah, they fit really quite well. Other innovations include a triangular fluted plastic window, which is in modular 3. I'll show that from the outside, even though it's a total mess. Here it is from the outside, and yes, I mean it's just a lash up really. Bits of cut off OSB holding it together. It is only here for the winter, because you have to bear in mind that these two panels will be removed in order to extend the modular shed this way. Two more modules going alongside these two modules, and then another one further up this way. So that window is very much temporary. I can't remember if I've shown this under support for the roof overhang. So we've got a little wedge there sitting on an angle bracket holding up that bar which supports almost all of the corrugated roof, and then we've got these little pieces of foam filler which actually act as a glue as well. So in fact that bar holds itself up. It no longer needs these wedges, but they'll stay in place because, well, they are the mechanical support for this part of the roof. Inside, in module 1, there is a small triangle there that needs filling with OSB, so I'll just put a small piece in there. I'm going to access it through module 2. I'm going to take off that rear sheet, OSB sheet, which unfortunately means moving all this stuff, but this is now a working space. There is still quite a large gap here, you can see, which needs filling, so it'll need a bar coming down at a slight angle. It's about 3 degrees, which will be the equivalent of that 4x1, massively undersized 4x1, I don't know why they call it 4x1, and then another angled bar which you saw on module 3 from the outside. I'll go and show that again. Yeah, this one angled to the same angle as the roof. It is in fact the roof support. So So behind here, you can just about see it in that gap, is the completely vertical 4x1, which creates a seal and enables me to fill those channels with foam. Something else I've been doing is filling the little triangles which would allow insects to crawl in. Now I started using the expanded foam, and that was terribly wasteful. There was a lot of spilled out foam all the way down here, and it was a very similar colour to the, well, this is cork, this is magnolia coloured cork. The expanded foam actually since has changed colour, and it is a really nice match for the wood. You actually can't see that from a distance, but unfortunately the cork hasn't yet discoloured, and in fact I don't know whether it's going to, so this is all rather obvious. It does a very good job. It's perfectly sealed all the way down, and round here there's a perfect seal all the way up there, but it's just how it looks. It just looks a bit, well, nasty. Inside the shed it's looking very business-like. I have lighting up here. I've just received some more lights actually. What I'm waiting for now are these terminal blocks which I'm using to distribute the 12 volts to make the electrical wiring modular. Heating are these two ant miners which also generate cryptocurrency while they operate, and they do seem to be very effective, if a little noisy, but we won't worry too much about noise. And in here we got the electrics for the lighting, got the switch panels up there above the window. Pretty sure I've shown all this. What is new is this panel above the door. That was what I did yesterday, so I'm sealing the door. The door needs a little bit more work to make a flush seal when it's closed onto its frame, and there's a little hole up there, but that can easily be filled with spray foam. I'm just waiting actually for a piece of pipe a bit like this. Because you have to use these spray foam cans upside down, I want a piece of pipe which will come from what will be the bottom all the way up, and then I want a little 90-degree turn on it, and that's to do these gaps up here, because where the apex is, in fact it might be easier to see here, where the apex is, there's a capping sheet sitting on top of the ends of these two boards, so these channels in there are completely open to the elements, so those all need to be filled, and I thought, well, I can't really do that from the outside, so I'm going to attempt to do it from the inside, and that of course will be done with spray foam, this stuff, which is pretty messy. And so that's really the latest update from the modular shed, Module 3, a Module 2, and a Module 1, and I'll provide more updates as I complete. This is totally rubbish shot. So that's an update from the modular shed, Module 3, and I walk into Module 2, and I walk into Module 1. Now, I suppose the next big thing is going to be insulation of the walls. I'm going to do it with rock wool. There's going to be no internal wall panels. It's going to be fluffy walls, which is good for the acoustics if it's to be a YouTube studio, which it is. So more updates from the modular shed very, very soon. Goodbye.